Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's great to have you all. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Yasharein, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeidchem l'shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All right. Welcome again, Bruchim Abayim, and Shabbat Shalom. It is great to have you along. I'm Rabbi Matthew Leibl. I think it says it there somewhere, right? On the bottom, we're coming to you live from Congregation Sheretz Tzedek in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, where the local time is just past 5:30, and we are about to begin a journey together, about an hour and change as we bring in Shabbat together. Easily my favorite time of the week, my favorite service of the week. No disrespect to the other services. The other services are great, but I do have a favorite, and it is this one, and I'm glad that you are here to share it with, that I can share it with you, and that we can share it together. Thank you, wherever you are tuning in from, whether it's in Winnipeg or somewhere else. It is so great to have you. Whether you're watching on our website, which is szwinnipeg.ca, or our YouTube channel, or our Facebook page, welcome. If it's Facebook or YouTube, you can chat. I have a computer here that follows the chat, and you can let us know how you're feeling and react to different parts of the service and say hello to each other and say hello to me, or you can sit back and enjoy. Either way is great. We are just thrilled to have you here to participate and bring in Shabbat together. We have a Siddur. It looks like this. If you had the hard copy, it's blue. It's called Siddur Chadash, the new Siddur, brought to you by the same people who made the old Siddur. And if you don't have it, it's on our website. Again, the website, szwinnipeg.ca. There's a link to the Siddurim, the prayer books, and then the different ones we use throughout the week. Pick the one that is for Friday night. Friday night. Okay. So we're going to do the opening with a psalm in lieu of Mincha and the Mourner's Kaddish. We're going to do the Kabbalat Shabbat service. Got the piano. This little guy. Been all over the world with this little guy, as I've told some of you about before in some of my little ramblings. And then we're going to get into the evening service for Shabbat, where liturgically it really does become the new day and the day of Shabbat, and it's wonderful. And then we'll conclude with Kiddush, special counting of the Omer, Aleinu, and we'll say goodbye. That's kind of how the next hour or so looks. So again, great to have you along. Thank you for being here. Shabbat Shalom. Hope you had a nice week. I had another busy one. I'll be honest with you. They're busy. They're all busy. And there's nothing better at the end of a busy week than Kabbalat Shabbat. That's the way I feel. So we can leave the week behind and look forward to what should be a restful, introspective, wonderful Shabbat, wonderful weekend, a weekend of peace, a Shabbat of peace for sure. And let's kick it off. Page 174 in the Siddur Chadash, the Friday night Siddur. If you're following the PDF, it's right at the beginning. We put them out of order just for the beginning. A psalm in lieu of Mincha, and then the Mourner's Kaddish. Page 174. Mizmor shir Chanukat habayit leDavid Armim charonai ki dilitani v'lo simachta oivai li Adonai Elohai shivati alech v'tibayeni. Adonai Elohim mishum nafshiti den b'yadavor. Afad l'mispil l'machol pitat l'saki v'tezra nisimo. Leman yizamercha chava v'lo yidom Adonai Elohai leolam odeka. Page 176 is the Mourner's Kaddish. Today, Friday, 23rd of April, 2021, is the 11th day of Iyar in the Hebrew calendar. And on the 11th of Iyar at Congregation Sheretz Zedek, we commemorate the following yahrzeits: Max Bronstein, Menach ben Shmuel, Tilly Forgan, Lillian Gelman, Rocholea bat Raphael Ufega, Norman Hyman Greenberg, Irene Guberman, Irit bat Akiva, Walter Levin, Baruch ben Shmuel Umini, Wilfred Raber, Zev ben Simcha Halevi Veliba, Nathan Rothstein, Nachum ben Yaakov, Hattie Waldman, Yita bat Yaakov, and Herbert Winston, Avraham ben Yaakov Echava, Zichronam Livracha, all of blessed memory. If there's anyone with a yahrzeit on the 11th of Iyar, and we did not call your loved one's name, if you have access to the chat, please type his or her name into the chat so we can read it aloud. Today we also remember from One More Candle, the organization that helps us remember the 1.5 million children who perished in the Holocaust. Every day we call the name of another child, and today we remember Avraham Belevis, Zichrono Livracha, of blessed memory. This past week, we honor those we lost in our community, and we mourn their passing. Mildred Gutkin, Milcha, Bat Avram Elia Visonia, and Ben Hurt, Zichronam Livracha, of blessed memory. Page 176 again is the Mourner's Kaddish. All of those of you who are in mourning or observing yahrzeit, you're invited to rise and join in these words with me. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam u'lamei almaya. Yiparach v'ishtabach v'par v'tramam v'naseh v'hadar v'taleh v'talal shemei dekudsha b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. You may be seated as we move into the next part of our service, which begins on page 22. Page 22, this is Kabbalat Shabbat. A lot of great music. Meet the new doer, same as the old doer. We'll check back in and welcome everybody in just a second, but let's get some of the singing going here on page 22. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Naria, naria, letzuri sheinu nekad mafanav betoda. Naria, naria, letzuri sheinu bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, l'Adonai. Ki el gadol Adonai u'melech hagel kol Elohim. We continue silently. Third line from the bottom, page 22. Arba'im shana kut bedor, v'omaram to'e levavheim, ve'hem lo yadu derachai, asher nishbati ve'api, imivun el menuchati. Page 24. Shir l'Adonai, shir chadash. We continue silently. עוז וההוד והדר לפניו עוז תפארת במקדשו. עבור אדוני משפחות עמים, עבור אדוני כבוד ועוז. Okay, page 24, 4 lines from the bottom. In a recent poll of 100 people off the street, this one was picked as their 3rd favorite tune from Friday night. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, v'tagel haaretz. Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam umelo. Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam, Yihiram hayam umelo. Yalo sadai, Yalo sadai, Yalo sadai, v'chol asher bo. As Yiranenu, as Yiranenu, as Yiranenu kol atzeyar, as Yiranenu, as Yiranenu, as Yiranenu kol atzeyar. Lifnei Adonai kiva, kiva lishpot haaretz, yishvot tevel b'tzedek, ve'amim b'emunato. Page 26. Adonai malach tagel haaretz, yismechu im rabim. Some action on the chat. Just want to say hello to some people before we continue. David Wilder, Shabbat Shalom to you and to everyone as well. GMH, studying up for his bar. I like it. Sandy and Marvin are here. It's great. Jackie, thank you so much. Get Shabbos to you, Judge RLP. Sharon and Judy, Shabbat Shalom to both of you as well. Hiya, Terry Zed. Othmain, Erev Tov to you, Sarah B. I see there's a little bit of something going on between Terry Zed and Sarah B. Battle of the out-of-towners. Yerach from out of town, great to have you too. So Othmain's getting in on it. And Judy, the mother. Terry Zed Bat Judy, great to have you too. Robert, oh wow, Robert, great to have you too. And Marilyn, it's nice to have you here. Barb, Eugene, Barb and Sid, Shabbat Shalom. Merrill, Alice, Bill, HIS sibling, Terry, Leslie. Oh, it's so nice to see so many people here. And Mila as well. It is great to have you along. We are working our way through Kabbalat Shabbat, and we are going to pick it up at the bottom of page 26. 2 lines from the bottom. Eli as well. Or zaru alat tzadik uleishrei lev simcha simchu tzadikim baronai. Ve'odu lezecher kodsho. Page 28. Mizmor, Shir L'Adonai, Shir Chadash. Finally, you're back. It's great to have you, Eli. Zamru L'Adonai bechinor, bechinor v'kol zimra, b'chatzot srot v'kol shofar ariu lifnei melech Adonai. Lifnei Adonai kiva, kiva lishpot haaretz, yishvot tevel b'tzedek, ve'amim b'mei sharim. Page 30. Adonai malach yirgezu amim, yoshev kruvim tanud haaretz, Adonai b'tzion gadol v'ramu kol amim. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu. I don't think we did Ramamu last week. Well, let's do it. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ramemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'ar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'hishtachavu le'ar kodsho. Please rise. We're on to the next psalm, the last one before Lecha Dodi. This is page 34. We ask you to rise for this one. We'll say hi to Ken and Claire, who are with us. Shabbat Shalom to both of you. Been a while. Thanks for dropping by. Hope you're both well. There's a story there there's a few stories there with Ken and Claire. I think certainly I've signed a lot of paperwork for weddings to solemnize marriages in the province of Manitoba, and probably over 100, over 10 years. Yeah, certainly over 100. And I think if I had to say the one that was maybe the most interesting, because it happened sort of on the fly, was Ken and Claire. Just thought of that right now. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. And to Yuda. Oh, Yuda. I miss you, Yuda. And Rottweiler boy out in Victoria. It's great to have you all here. Okay, hope you're standing. Page 34. Mizmor leDavid, Havul Adonai b'nei Elim, Havul Adonai kavod. Vaoz, Havul Adonai kevod shemo, Ishtachavul Adonai behadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim, Ela kavod, Hirim Adonai al mayim, al mayim, al mayim rabim, al mayim, al mayim, al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai b'koach, Kol Adonai behadar, Kol Adonai shover arazim, Vayishaber Adonai et arzei Alvanon, Vayarkidem kemo egel Levanon, Vesiryon kemo veremim, kemo veremim. Kol Adonai chotzev lavodesh, Kol Adonai yachil Adonai midbar kadesh, Kol Adonai yecholel ayalot, Vayechesof Ye'arod uvehechalo, Kulo merkavod, Kulo merkavod, Kulo merkavod. Adonai lama bu yashav, Vayishev Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et hamo v'shalom, et hamo v'shalom. Please be seated. Could I forget? I'm not going to tell the story. I'm not going to tell the story. That one's going to be between us. Please be seated. And it was just a really special thing to be a part of. And I guess you owe me one. I'm going to cash in on that one someday. Oh, Cindy, it's so nice to have you here, Cindy. And some love for Yuda. That's so nice. Nice crowd we have tonight. It's so great to have all of you with us. Thank you so much. This is one of those big moments. I told you, 100 people was recently surveyed off the street in the Kabbalat Shabbat Family Feud edition, and the number one song for Friday night was this one on page 38. Kabbalat lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat Kabbalat shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad ishmiyanu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem tiferet v'litila lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat Kabbalat lecha dodi likrat kala Shabbat Kabbalat Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki hi mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sof maaseh b'machshava techila lecha kala penei Shabbat Kabbalat lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat Kabbalat Mikdash melechir melucha kumitzei mitoch ha'afecha Rav lach shevet be'emek habacha v'hu yachamol alayichem lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat Kabbalat lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat Kabbalat Hidnari me'afar kumi livshi bigdei tifartechami al yad ben yishai ben lachmi karvayel nafshi ge'ala lecha dodi lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat Kabbalat lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat Kabbalat page 40 hitoreri kiva orech kumi ori shidaberi kivod Adonai alayich nigla lecha dodi lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat Kabbalat lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat Kabbalat lo tevoshi velo tikami matishtochachi umatehemi bach yechesu aniyei ami v'nivneta ir al tila lecha dodi lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat Kabbalat lecha dodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat Kabbalat. V'hayu limshisa shosayich v'rachaku kol mevalayich yasis alayich Elohayich kimsos chatan al kala la 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 lecha doti likra likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha lecha doti likra likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Yaminu small tifrotzi ve'et Adonai taritzi al yarish bein partzi v'nismecha v'nagi la 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 lecha doti likra likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha lecha doti likra likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. All right, last verse. I invite you to get on up wherever you are. Turn and face the door. Remember, Lecha Dodi is all about the Kala, the Shabbat bride. Welcoming Shabbat into our lives the way we would welcome a bride on her special day at her wedding. And just as we turn and face the door, where the Shabbat bride would come through and rise and even bow on the words Boi Chala, we do the same thing here at the end of Lecha Dodi. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha u'v'tzala toch emunei am segula Boi Chala Lecha lecha doti likra likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha lecha doti likra likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela la 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 lecha doti likra likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela lecha lecha doti likra likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela. Please be seated. Seeing some action on the chat. Yeah, I was making a little joke, that they pulled people off the street, like the way they say in Family Feud. 100 people randomly asked, if you could buy your husband something new for his wardrobe, what would you buy? Survey says 6 answers. Top answers on the board. So it was a little joke about the top songs of Kabbalat Shabbat. Okay, I think if I had to explain it, it was probably not worth it. It's usually a good rule. Page 42. Mizmor shir leyom hashabat tov lehodo l'Adonai zamer l'shimcha elyon le'agid baboker chastecha v'emunecha b'leilot. We are here to pray. We are, for sure. 4 lines from the bottom. Let's. Tzadika tamar yifrach ke'erez balvanon yiskeh shtuli beveit Adonai b'chatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu od yenuvun b'seva d'shenim v'rananim Yashar Adonai, Tsuri Tsuri Velo Avlatabo. We will conclude Kabbalat Shabbat on page 44. And I haven't done this one in a little while, and I like this melody, so... Some people were asking about the tune for Lecha Dodi. 3 tunes there. The first one is from one I discovered during the pandemic. A singing rabbi, he calls himself Rabbi Josh Warshawski. You can find him on the internet. Just a fabulous Lecha Dodi. I love that one. The middle one was that upbeat kind of Hasidic wedding one. They call it traditional. And the last one was Craig Taubman with the kind of... Anyway. This one's by Teddy Horowitz. Adonai malach geud lavesh Adonai oz hitazar aftikon tevel Baltimore nachon kisacha meaz meolam atah nasu Ne'arot Adonai, Nasu Ne'arot Kolam, Isu Ne'arot Tochiyam, Mikolot Ma'im Rabim, Adirim Ishpeream, Adir Bamarom Adonai Edotecha Nemnu Meod Leveitcha Nava Kodesh Adonai Leorech Yamim Nasu Ne'arot Adonai Nasu Ne'arot Kolam Isu Ne'arot Tochiyam Mikolot Ma'im Rabbi. That brings our Kabbalat Shabbat to a close. The evening service is coming up next. We make a pause here between those two parts of the service, just as we're kind of marking that we're transitioning on our calendar. The sun will be officially setting soon, kind of the geographic beginning of Shabbat. Liturgically, the Ma'ariv is the beginning of Shabbat as we leave the day behind, the week behind, and we move into the 12th of Iyar. On the 12th of Iyar, we commemorate the following yortzites at Congregation Sheretz Tzedek. Mildred Chernov, M.J. Finkelstein, Menachem Mendel ben Yosef, Louis Galpern, Leib ben Raphael, Edward Garber, Fanny Gottlieb, Philip Jeffries, Falak ben Aaron Ufega, Yuri Lieberman, Yoichel ben Salia Ubela, Cecil Schachter, Zisel bat Avraham, Bertha Schlein, Brena bat Moshe, Manuel Silverman, Mendel Yosef ben Yisrael Yitzchak, Clara Streifler, and Oscar Wire, Zichronam Livracha, all of blessed memory. If there's someone and you have a yortzeit for the 12th of Iyar and we have not called out your loved one's name, please let us know in the chat so we can call it out. We also remember today from One More Candle, Otto Bleiweiss of blessed memory. And we think of those we lost in our community in this past week. We honor their memory, we mourn their passing. Mildred Gutkin, Milka bat Avram Elia Visonia, and Ben Hurt. Zichronam Livracha of blessed memory. Page 124. If you'll move ahead in the Siddur, we have the Mourner's Kaddish. I invite anyone who's in mourning or observing yortzeit, please rise and join with me in these words. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyamechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Ba'gala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach le'alam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'ishtabach v'itpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shemei dekudsha b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushvechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav u'yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. I invite everyone to rise or remain standing if you were standing for the Kaddish. Let's all stand together and begin Ma'ariv, the evening service, also known as Aravit, with the Baruch, the call to worship. Me and you, and then we can join in together coming up in a few pages with the Shema. But we begin on page 50. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai Mevorach Le'olam Va'ed. Please be seated. We continue silently. As I mentioned, we're building up to the Shema. There are two paragraphs, two blessings before the Shema, which we will do together, and we'll kind of pick it up at the end of each of these paragraphs. Here, beginning or continuing on page 50. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila. Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamidim loch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai. Hamari. Page 52. Ahavat olam bein Yisrael amchavta. Al ken Adonai Leibl. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negei yomam v'layla ve'ahavat chal tasir mimenu lolamim. Baruch atah Adonai. Ohev amo Yisrael. Page 54. Let's cover our eyes and join together. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'ayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha yom alevavecha veshinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha, b'veitecha, uvlechtecha, v'derech, uv'shochbecha, uv'kumecha, u'kshartam leot al yadecha, ve'ayu letodafot b'neinecha, u'chtavtam al mezuzot, beitecha u'visharecha. We can continue silently through the rest of the Shema. The second paragraph is on page 56, and the final paragraph is on page 58. I want to say Shabbat Shalom to Leon as well. Adonai Elohechem Emet Page 60. Emet v'emuna kol zav v'kayim aleinu ki hu Adonai Eloheinu. Ein zulato. Malchuto beratzon kiblu aleihem Moshe v'nei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha rabba ve'ameru chulam lai da dai 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 da dai 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 ya da dai 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 ya da dai 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 ya da dai 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 ya da dai 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 ya dai 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 mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh nora tehilot osef ele malchutcha ra'uv anecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe malchutcha ra'uv anecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh nora tehilot osef ele zeli anu ve'ameru Adonai imloch leolam leolam bo'eh mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh nora tehilot osef ele v'nemar ki Adonai Yaakov galo miyad chazak mimenu baruch atah Adonai baruch shemo A little bit different there for the Milchamoch. I've done that one in the past, a little different. It's the Sol Zim melody for Ma'ariv on Shabbat. Remember the Milchamoch there. Getting back to that little joke about the survey, number 2. We had the number 3 song, Yismechu Hashemayim. We had the number 1 song for Kabbalat Shabbat L'Chadodi. This one's the number 2. What? Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Ve'amideinu Malkeinu Lechaim Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Ve'amideinu Malkeinu Lechaim Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Ve'amideinu Malkeinu Lechaim Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom Ve'amideinu Malkeinu Lechaim. Skip down to 3 lines from the bottom. Ushmor Tzeiteinu Uvoeinu Lechaim Shalom Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim. Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim. V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim. V'hamidenu Malkeinu L'chaim. Skip back to where we left off before. Second line from the bottom. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai haporeh sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai haporeh sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Ve'al Yerushalayim. Ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen. 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 All right, I invite you to rise for Vishamru on page 64. This one has a bit of a reggae feel, I think, to me. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam. Oti leolam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshen yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et haaretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi shavat vayinafash shavat vayinafash shavat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. We're getting ready for the silent Amidah. This is a very important moment in our service where we'll have a chance for some silent prayer. Just before we get there, though, we have the Chatzi Kaddish, page 66. Yigadal ve'yitkadash shemei Rabbah be'alma divrach irutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol ben Yisrael ba'gala ba'gala uv'izman kariv imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach le'alam u'lamei almaya. Barak ve'ishtabach v'par v'roma v'naseh v'tadar v'tale v'talal shmei dekudisha b'richu leila min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru Amen. Now for the silent Amidah. I invite you to rise. You can use the Siddur, or you can use your own words of prayer. If you use the Siddur, you have options. You can use a more traditional opening that just has the Avot, just the patriarchs on page 68, or on page 69, including the Imahot, the matriarchs as well, which is the way we do it out loud whenever we do it out loud here at Congregation Sharet Zedek. You can use the Hebrew, you can use the English. Follow it through. There are no special inclusions for today on the calendar day, on this day in the calendar, just everything following the Shabbat Amidah, Shabbat Eve. And again, if the words of the Siddur don't do it for you, use your own words of prayer. We'll take a few minutes now for the silent Amidah. מודים אנחנו לך שתורנה לאבותינו לעולם ועד. כל החיים יהיו כזה When you finish your prayers, I invite you to take a seat. We'll stand again soon in the lead up to Kiddush and for Kiddush. I invite you to get whatever you're going to use to make Kiddush, get it ready. We're getting close to that. We've got here Manischewitz, Concord grape, a little bit of wax that dropped from the candles and melted into it, bringing out the tannins. 2017, 2018 maybe, the wax throws it off. I don't know if that's possible. I had the cover, but anyway. I hope that the Amidah was an important experience for you. It always is for me. And coming out of it, I would like to pause in the Siddur and then go to a special Misha Beirach we have for all those who are sick. We have a long list of people whose names I'm going to call out. You can add names to the list by typing them into the chat, or you can just say them where you are or think of them. As we pray for all of these folks, a refuah shlema, a return to a state of better health. For some of the people we're praying for, it's physical health. For others, it's mental health, a spiritual and emotional health, whatever it is. We pray for refuah shlema, and at the same time, we pray for doctors, nurses, healthcare providers who are on the front lines as we continue to wage against this pandemic over a year after the first lockdown. And for all of them, we will offer this prayer, the Debbie Friedman version of the Misha Beirach. Aviva bat Malka, Yaakov ben Sion ben Miriam, Isabella bat Sarah, Chaya Zahava bat Leah, bat Sheva bat Sarah, Yitzchak Dov ben Bela, Moshe Aharon ben Leah, Miriam Rachel bat Leah, Liba bat Fagel, Sharon bat Goldie, David Tzvi ben Sarah Pesel, Dina Rachel bat Sarah Esther, Yitzchak Chaim ben Sarah, Tova Yael bat Dina Rachel, Shira Naomi bat Dina Rachel, Eliezer Meir ben Toviyael, Katriel Yosef ben Toviyael, Yisrael Chaim ben Shira Naomi, Leticia Corrado, Stephen Mebatia ben Wangari, Esther Leah bat Menicha, Bailey bat Razel, Tzivia bat Brana, Leah bat Rachel, Dvor Gitel bat Leah, Binyamin Pinchas ben Dvor Gitel, Nachum Leah ben Leah, Avram ben Rachel, Hachazan Shefer ben Miriam, Shendel bat Miriam, Harav Avraham Yehoshua Heschel ben Ruth, Risa bat Sarah, Elokim Pesach ben Esther Pesi, Sorasima Bracha bat Gidel Shendel, Uri Akiva ben Sarah, Rachel bat Sonia, Alfie Glass, Beryl ben Dvora, Esther Bela bat Sarah, Atara bat Etel, Shmuel Leib ben Gitel, Dana Brinley, Janice Diner bat Batsheva, Stephen Alexander Lee, Lucy Braverman, Michael Braverman, Risa Langhans, Karen Greenberg, Ari ben Dvora, Maria Carmelita Ferreira da Silva, Georgina Tassara, Shoshana bat Sarah, Adrian McDonald, Frida bat Regina, Rishon ben Sarah, Tzivia bat Sluva, Moshe ben Bluma, Tatiana bat Anna, Ilana Rachel bat Eleanor, Eliezer ben Sarah, Rivka bat Chava, Ricky Siegel, Jerry Marcus, Mishe Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishe berach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. I invite you to turn to page 80. This is the 10-page lead up to Kiddush. The way that the Siddur makers figured was, yeah, there were some parts of the Silent Amidah that we didn't do out loud, so let's do them now. For real. Starting on page 80. There are some people who have the custom to stand for this. I invite you, if that is your custom and you are able, stand, and we're building up to Kiddush. Here we go. Vayechulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzvam vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi melachto asher asa vayishbot bayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa vayevarech Elohim et yom hashvi vayekadesh oto kivo shavat mikol melachto kivo shavat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim asher bara Elohim lasot. Page 82. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarai Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Oel Agadol Agibor Be'anora El Elyon Koneh Shamayim Varetz Magen Avot Bidvaro מחיי מתים במאמרו, האל הקדוש שאין כמוהו, המניח לעמו ביום שבת קודשו, כי בם רצה להניח להם, כי בם רצה להניח להם, לפניו נעבוד ביראה ופחד, ונודה לשמו בכל יום תמיד. מעין הברכות אל ההודעות, אדון אדון השלום, מקדש השבת ומברך שביעי, ומניח בקדושה לעמדו שני עונג, זכר למעשה וראשית. Page 84, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avoteinu, Ritzeh v'imnuchateinu, Kadeshenu b'mitzvotecha, v'ten chelkeinu b'toratecha, Sabeinu mituvecha, v'samcheinu b'shuatecha, v'taher, v'taher libeinu le'avdecha v'emet, v'taher libeinu le'avdecha v'emet, v'hanchilenu Adonai Eloheinu V'ava uv'ratzon shebakotchecha, v'yanuchu Yisrael mekadshei shemecha, v'taher libeinu le'ovdecha v'emet, v'taher libeinu v'taher libeinu v'taher libeinu le'ovdecha b'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Megadesh HaShabbat. Kadish Shalem, page 86. Yigal v'yigal Shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach yirtei v'mlich malchutei, b'chaychon v'mechon chaychol b'Yisrael, b'agalav yizman kari ve'imeru, amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'alam u'lamei almaya. Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yidromam v'yinaseh v'yidadar v'yidalev v'yidalav shmei dekudesh shabrichu leila mikol bechra v'shirata dushbechata v'nechamata d'miram b'alma v'imeru amen. Tikabal tzlot hon uvot hon dechol Yisrael kodam avon yishmai v'imeru amen. Yehi shlom Rabbi min shemaya v'chayim alein v'kol Yisrael v'imeru amen. Oseh shalom imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. That's nice. Okay, let's do a quick Kiddush on page 90. This week, the Parsha is Acharei Mot Kedoshim. And I wanted to just talk very quickly about context. My son Hugo is a big fan of Disney Plus and has been, over the last several months, discovering some of the shows on Disney Plus. Right now he's in a big kick with the one Ratatouille. He calls it the mouse. Great movie if you haven't seen it, about this rat who wants to be a chef, and it's fabulous. Cars series has been an obsession. Finding Dory has been an obsession. Not Finding Nemo. And now it's Ratatouille. But what's interesting about Disney Plus is they have the old Disney movies. You know, the movies I remember from VHS from when I was a kid, Jungle Book, Aristocats. And there's a lot of stuff in some of those movies that is well, dated for sure, but also gets into stereotypes, cultural stereotypes. And a lot of times today, a reaction seems to be, well, we should just bury those movies and get rid of them and never watch them. And at least today, the way I kind of feel is, no, there is art there. There are positive messages there. There is a lot of good there. There are trouble spots, but are we going to throw everything away because of the trouble spots? Or maybe we can provide some context. We can explain to our younger viewers what the problems are, why we wouldn't make movies like this today, why they are insensitive, problematic, hurtful, but why there still is a lot of merit, and we try and focus on that while also understanding the problems. Context is very important. On Disney Plus, when you watch a movie like Aristocats, there is a disclaimer at the beginning. It touches on really this whole idea. And tomorrow in Parsha Achrei Mot Kedoshim, we have one of the most difficult passages in the Torah. In fact, I will say that for me personally, as a Torah reader, 17 years now, this is the most challenging passage I ever have to work with and deal with as a Torah reader and a rabbi. You'll have to tune in tomorrow to see what it is, because it fits to be discussed as we read it out of the Torah. But a little tease, and just to let you know that my philosophy is context. So often with Torah, with religion, Bible verses are quoted and thrown around as if they stand alone. But they weren't written like that. They weren't written as one-liners. They were written as part of the whole. And I think in our lives, it's easy to just shoot off one-liners, but that doesn't mean that it's the right way. Digging a little deeper, bringing up and examining the context, and getting to the spirit behind everything is really what interpretation, especially of Torah, is all about. So, hopefully we'll see all of you tomorrow with a service that starts at 10 Winnipeg time and a Torah reading by 11 for Achrei Mot Kedoshim. In the meantime, to all of you, I hope that you are able to put the things that need context in your lives. Because it always makes it easier to digest and understand, even if it takes a little more work. Please rise if you're not already, and let's join together in Kiddush. Page 90. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'avav ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'asev reshit ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh Zecher litziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat. Amen. L'chaim. Thank you, everyone, for your Wonderful comments. It's so nice. If you have to head out, we wish you all the best for your Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom, and we'll see you tomorrow or we'll see you next time. If you can hang around for a couple more moments, we're going to count the Omer and then recite Aleinu and conclude with the Mourner's Kaddish. But thank you to everyone who has been here, who has invited me into your homes or wherever you are, as we've formed this virtual congregation to bring in Shabbat together. So special, so wonderful. If you have the Siddur, it's page 732. I'm not allowed to tell you which day it is. So what's our little clue? Can't think of a good one. Should have thought of this before. Awkward silence right now. Okay. Little Jets trivia, Winnipeg Jets style. If you multiply, oh boy, I hope we get Tucker Pullman's number 3. If you multiply Tucker Pullman's jersey number by Andrew Kopp's jersey number, you get the day. All the out-of-towners are like, what? Winnipeg, hockey's a big deal. Please stand. We're about to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer as it's written in the Torah. You shall count from the day following the day of rest, from the day you brought an Omer of grain as an offering. 7 full weeks shall be counted. You shall count 50 days to the day following the 7th week. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav etzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Praised are you, Lord our God, who rules the universe, who has taught us the way of holiness through the commandments, through the mitzvot, and enjoined upon us the counting of the Omer. Hayom shiva ve'esrim yom, shehem shlosha shavuot v'shisha yamim la'omer. Today is the 27th day of the Omer, which is 3 weeks and 6 days of the Omer. Right? Tucker Pullman's number 3, isn't he? He's not number 4. I think he's number 3. Number 3 times Andrew Kopp, number 9. Number 27. I hope I had Pullman's number right. So far, nobody's said anything in the chat. Maybe they don't know. Aleinu is page 118. We can stand up for this one and get ready to conclude our service. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula liotzer b'reishit, shelo asanu gegoyei aratzot velo samanu kimishpechot hadama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem begor aleinu kechol amonam, v'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei amlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Page 120. Al ken nekabel echad Adonai Eloheinu l'meben. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo Ushemo echad, Ushemo echad. Thank you everyone again for today. We're going to conclude with the Mourner's Kaddish on page 124. Our custom here at Sheretz Zedek is to be mindful of all those people who have no one to say Kaddish for them, so we can stand together if you're willing and able and recite Kaddish on all of their behalfs, as well as everyone else who has someone to say Kaddish for. Page 124, thank you again. Have a wonderful Shabbat, however you spend it, wherever you spend it, with whomever you're able to spend it. Make it a good one, and we'll see you next time. Hopefully it's not too long from now. Page 124. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabba, Be'alma divra chirutei ve'amlich malchutei, B'chaychon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, b'agala uvizman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'alam u'lamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh V'ithadar, v'ithalev, v'ithalal, shemei dekudsha b'richu. Leila min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehi shlom rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, v'yaseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Thanks again, everyone. Shabbat shalom u'mivorach.